My name is Matt, and I'm a firefighter here in Arizona, and the doctors here at Advanced Wellness and Pain had approached my department to make it available to us, and that's how I found out about it. I had a severe brain injury after an explosion, which has led to my PTSD, anxiety, depression, all that. There were SSRIs, and they just made things worse, made me more suicidal and more depressed. Prior to ketamine, I was in a space where I knew the right things to do. I knew the breathing techniques. I knew that, I should be meditating and all that. But when your baseline is right up against the ceiling of your ability to deal with anything, those things don't come to mind until 3 or 4 hours later, or if at all. Dealing with routine, mundane tasks like getting through a day of work was the absolute most I could mentally handle. There were panic attacks, there's intense anxiety. There was one day I was in the garage just trying to distract myself by doing something, and I dropped a screw on the floor, and my wife watched me destroy half of our garage. There was problems coming up at work, and certainly I wasn't available for my wife and my friends, and I wasn't enjoying anything, and I'm a musician. I had pretty much just stopped playing, and which is something I love so much. Their passion for this and their compassion for people was obvious. And so they, got to know me and what it is that I'd been struggling with, and the things I've been doing that haven't gotten the results I wanted, between talk therapy and medications and so forth. And I felt respected and cared for. One of the most amazing things, and my wife and I talked about it, so she was my ride back and forth, and just how well taken care of she was, and that they made sure that, she knew exactly when things would be done, and they made her comfortable here. But the environment overall is impeccable, and it's striking that every little detail is so well thought out. You're made so comfortable and so safe and welcomed. And again, and as I've mentioned before, just the care and compassion is obvious. That it was, that's one of the things I share with people about Advanced Wellness and Pain, is this environment is really fantastic and perfectly designed for everyone to get the maximum, potential experience for themselves. The experience itself is, it's a psychedelic. So it's a trip. And for those who have experience with psychedelics in the past, I had in high school, I had some understanding of what that, just that weird feeling. It's pleasant in the sense that, it's a floating, good feeling. And if someone's not familiar with psychedelics, then just to be aware of that it's not necessarily like being buzzed on alcohol or anything else. It is a different effect, but it's ultimately pleasant, and even the intensive things that came up for me and that I got to deal with and get complete, even in those moments, it was never frightening. Ultimately, it was transformational, and it might sound dramatic, but it absolutely saved my life. Post-ketamine, the most important thing is that it came down, and I got down to a 0 or 1, a baseline that now it gives me room to work. Now I can actually have the mental bandwidth to sit and meditate, to journal, to get more effect out of the talk therapy that I'm continuing to do. I became obviously more available emotionally and mentally for my family and my friends and my hobbies and the things I enjoy in life. One of the ways I describe it is that the ketamine isn't the answer, right? It's access to the answers and the things you need to do. And as I said before, having no bandwidth left, I wasn't able to do the work I needed to actually manage the things that are going on for me mentally and emotionally. And so the ketamine became a wedge, and it gave me the ability to be able to get in there and start doing that work. When I was able to come down and have my baseline be a legitimate baseline, now daily meditation and journaling, and in the moment anything comes up, recognizing it, managing it. And it's never been, it's been over 2 months. There's some unfortunate things I'm dealing with in my life, and loved ones that are going through medical things, some intense stuff, and it's all manageable. It's all okay. Get all your questions answered, ask all the questions you can think of to get comfortable, and make sure that it is right for you, that it is the right fit. It's not a magic bullet. I highly advise talk therapy along with it, prior to it. so that you have tools to process what you may find during the sessions. But the most important thing is ask all the questions there are to ask. My wife will be doing her sessions in a few weeks, and she is very detail-oriented and stickler and has a degree in neuroscience, and so she was asking some pretty intensive questions of the doctors here, and she's skeptical and all that, and they were just fantastic with hearing her, understanding, and speaking directly to what it was she was asking so that she could get the information and comfort level that she needed. So that's what I would say is ask the questions and see this as just a part of the overall picture. It can be the most successful, it can be the most impactful, but it should be just a part of the overall picture of someone managing their mental health. But have simple intention for yourself, for the program overall, for each individual session, and hold it only as an intention, this being the second part, because this is your brain's moment to be in charge and sort of put the conscious, everyday thinking, logical, rational, kind of put all of that parts of ourselves to the side so that what's happening down in the subconscious that's troubling gets its ability to, or gets its moment in the sun, so to speak. So you might go in with an intention of, I had one session I intended to look at, anger and the upset and the rage, and that wasn't what my brain wanted to process. And so as they tell you, go to it. Whatever shows up, go right to it.